What's up? It is Tuesday, February 10th and 12:40 p.m. Brisbane time. Let's go through the list. Oh, that could be an M, a 4-hour M. Let's have a look at it on the 4-hour. Look at that. Got it down. Now it just needs to get it up. Is that a 30% retracement? No, it's like definitely not. So we need that to go higher before it's considered an M. Let's just put in the short trade for fun. I'll put in a, you gotta give it some spread there. 1-to-1 alert. Let's put a 70% down. It's not quite the same thing, but like say about there. We'll put in an alert. In other words, it's hit that. So I guess you could count that thing as the top of the other side of the M, and then it's 1.3, so it's a legit M then. Okay. So do we care about this? There's that big. Looks like it's already been there, you know. I don't like it, so I'm just gonna put a little tag on here. 4HM. I don't like that the wick already hit target, so I'm not taking that. Back to the 1 hour. USD, let's zoom out a bit so we can see some big head and shoulders patterns. And another M look. That one went straight up, look, shoulder, head, shoulder, boom. Let me just, wish I took that. That was S&P 500. But where was the entry? There was the entry because that was the first candle. Yeah, but it's still not. It's a 1-to-1 anyway. Pretty good. And this is going to be, is this an M? It's got to be 1.3. That's going to be below 1.3, which it is not, so not an M. Maybe it'll be a head and shoulders later. We'll find out. Nasdaq could be a head and shoulders later. Hey, look, first time I've seen Turkish lira US go down in my entire life. Could it be a trend change? Or just a correction? Just a correction because these are small jumps and then that's a big jump. I don't know. USD Japan. No pattern. That's a head and shoulders, but I already missed it. There we go. German. Why didn't I take that one? I can't remember. It was one of them. It was on my list, but it wasn't my top one. That was so close to the. That probably would have stopped me out, honestly. Like if she changed the bid and ask. Let me get rid of the candle signal so I can see where. Oh, come on! And you see the bid and ask. That would have literally stopped me out. But I'm glad I didn't take it. Next time, put the stop loss a little bit further away. That would have given me 3. I could have gone for 3 and been a bit safer. USD CAD, also a good one. Quasimodo neckline entry here. That would have been a 9.6-to-1. And then we were looking at this neckline A. Neckline A was already hit, but then it's got this bounce, higher, lower, high, all the way down. Man, I wish I took that one too. US CAD. I should have took that. I was talking to the AI about that. This is my live journal. It doesn't remember it now, unless I. This is it as well. Yeah, live journal. USD CAD trade turned out to be 9.6 to 1. Let's take a photo. And it went way past, I mean, there's the previous. Not 1 risk to 9.6 reward. But the PPA was very far away. And how far away was it? Let's use the measurement tool. I mean, there's the last time it was down here. From entry candle, 126 hours. Which is, I mean, if we go by the rule of, there's a shoulder end, and then we'll call, where's the break of way down there? So even then you can't, the previous price action was not in the range, so there was no way to take it legitimately. Would have been good. Out of range. Not a valid trade, but sad I didn't take it. That would have been $1,000 for me. That would have been like, yay, enough to put my whole account up. Okay, this could be an M, kind of. There's a good push up there. A little bit of a break here, but I don't think we're even. So if we go from the top of the M down to the bottom, no, the other way around. The bottom up to the top. That's our target here. So we have to go a little bit up, a little bit down. Okay. So now we're going to choose, are we going to go in? It's already triggered there, look. That would have triggered it if it was an M trade. But it looks like it's going down, up. It's got the V shape. It doesn't, I don't know if it's going to go or not. Okay, let's have a look. It's got a bearish divergence here, but we really want it to be there. Let's see what the AI said. Follow the rules, hindsight, la la la. Hindsight trades are perfect. Anyway, okay. Let's consider a Euro USD 1HM trade. I'll come back to Euro USD. I need a new piece of paper. Russ 2000's also got kind of an M thing going, but it's a very skinny M. Let's have a look on the 4 hour. It's at a 1.3 from there to here. It's too low. So it could be a 4 hour head and shoulders. Who knows? Let's see what Claude says for Euro US. Sentiment's mildly against you. Euro just had bullish data point, limited window. The green window ends at 3:30. It's now 12:49. The back goes down to 3:30, so I better get my trades in. Sentiment is against you. Euro bullish. Heavy USD news affects everything anyway. You're shorting the euro. Okay. I'm going long, which has a mixed data fundamental. Okay, so it's slightly fundamentally against us. You know what we can do is do the sentiment Euro USD. There. We could do the anti-sentiment thing. Okay, so most people are short. Everyone was long there, but now most people are short. Long 37, short 63, so I guess everyone's guess is going to go short. There's no... Okay, we'll just leave it. I need to write it down, but I've run out of paper. Put this in the bin. Okay, just gotta pause. I'll be back. I'm back. So Euro USM, Euro USD M. What are we gonna give it? I don't know. 6 out of 10. It's a pretty good M. I'm 5 out of 10. The other reason is because it doesn't look very M-y. Like there's an M and then it's kind of a wiggle here. Although we do get a good discount if we go in there. And there's a weekly trend line down there. And a weekly trend line up there. It's probably likely to go down to the trend line, right? Head and shoulders that failed. That was a 5-year treasury note. Euro DKK. There's another M, look. There's an M and then it's an extra M. So if we were to do this one, be down to there. It's got to be like a... I mean, it's got to be a 40% retracement. This area has got to be 40%, and it's just not. This doesn't look right to me. Hong Kong, Japan, pound US. That was a good one. That one went terribly. This was a shoulder, head, shoulder upside down. Did not go anywhere. This was a shoulder, head, shoulder. We never put the actual trade in, so the trade would have to be break, retrace. It'd have to be way up here. It still gives you 1.14%. Because you got this break and close below the trend line. Unless you made it a Quasimodo, then you could say, oh yeah, we'll go in here. Which still gives you, less money. So you're better off going in on that pin bar reversal or pin bar, yeah, upness. But we didn't. So, and then when was that pin bar? What time of day? Midnight, of course. So we couldn't take a Euro Japan. Zoom out. It's still like it's trying to do a head and shoulders. I mean, that one already went to target, but then it got this double tweezer bottom shooting it up. USD China. This is a German Bund. And that could be a 4-hour M, but it's pretty... Let's see how powerful that looks. It's powerful, but it's got a big break in the middle. It's powerful up. This could be a 4-hour M. Like if we didn't take that wick and we took that one. A little bit of extra. There's got to be at least one. Put the trade in, see what happens. I'm not going to put it in, I'll just write it down. I'm going to consider it. Bund M. That's better than the other one, so I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 because it looks more vertical. Okay, next. This is 4 hours, I've got to change to 1 hour. Another M. But it's a smooth up, it's not a fast up. If you change it to 4 hour, nah, it's not even, that would be your up. Retracement is at a less than It's got to be 40% retracement. It's not. But I'll put it in anyway because I like putting them in short trade. I always like to see what happens. I'm just going to write in there, not an M, because greater than 40%, less than and greater than 40% retracement. I mean, great. I mean, 50% is kind of okay, but 40% is desired, and 60% is out of the window. Would you call that a head and shoulders or just a bumpy ride up? I mean, let's just see what happens when that trend line gets broken. But it's getting higher and higher, so it's not even a trend line. Euro pound. So this one, I thought that was a giant wick. It's just my my note. So this one worked. And where would be your? And where's even? Oh, it's M. That was M, and that M worked. See, here it's like a much less of a retracement. The M worked, and this must be a 15-minute head and shoulders. I should write it in. Where's my head and shoulders? Let's leave it like that, so you can see the line, and then break retest is there. We don't even need it then. Break retest, and then you just wait for a blue candle, which would be that one, but it's too tiny to enter on a floating engulfer. So if you were to go in, you go there, put your stop loss back here. But then the trouble is, what time is that? 1:30 p.m. What? I could have took that. On W trade, I'm calling it a W trade, but it's actually a head and shoulders as well. So W trade would have been this is the neckline, and we're like, oh, it's already past the neckline. But then you could have gone in as an entry order and done all right. But then you would still be 1-to-1. But at head and shoulders, you would be 4.3 to 1. The next time, fader head and shoulders over. And look, we've got another one. Head and shoulders happening right now. That's what we want. We've had the break and retest. No, it's just not. It needs a good run up. Let's see. It's not going to reach. What is that word? It's not going to reach. PPA is not going to reach target. That's what I'm saying. So PPA is like way back there. So it's unlikely to go down. We'll put the trade in and just say the PPA is too far away, and there's no real trade here either, because look, it's just, there's no entry candle. They're all blue uppers. We need red downers like that, but over here after the break and retest. And we just put a little note on there, so when I come back and read it, I'll know why. PPA target too far away. So we're not taking that one. You see how the Asian session is so flat? Like just boom. I mean, look at the session. Trading sessions. That's us. That's Australia. That's Tokyo. And that is New York. That's it. What happens in New York, and that's what happens in Australia. They've got a range. This is 450 pips. Right? Is that right? Yeah. 45.9 pips, and then our range is 4.5 pips, so like 10% of what New York does. But it all depends on the instrument. That's for euro pound, right? So that's why trading in Asian is good and bad, because everything's chillaxed. You don't have to rush here, because you're not going to see that until midnight when we're already asleep. We're just setting things up. And you could do that as a head and shoulders, but that would have to be the shoulder. Big fat double head. Let's see if we go from the... There's a bearish divergence as well. Did I make two lines by accident? So we could hit that PPA quite easily. So we'll put in a break and close test. Price crossing down. Bar close. I mean, we know what it is. There's no need to write it. That is a gold Hong Kong. Oh, it's going to be, all the golds are going to be the same now. Euro Hong Kong looks similar to gold Hong Kong, but that neckline is way too steep for a head and shoulders. I'm not even going to put a... There's no point in putting that yet, because it's not even on head and shoulder. Let's see what happens if it breaks it. So because it's so steep, because it's so steep, we need to see like a proper breaker structure. We need to get price below that. I mean, we could just put a chart in there, crossing down once only. Breaker structure. Euro Chief already had a reversal. Europe. So that was a neckline. It went above it, and now that's kind of a bit in a support line. Was there a trade there? No, because it wouldn't reach PPA. It's only ever reached up to here. Pound Japan. Another Zhao. Did not get anywhere. Continuation too late to enter. Why did I write that? I didn't even get it. That's a German gold. Gold euro. Big head and shoulders, but it hasn't gone up to the top. And then if we suppose we delete that and have a look, is there head and shoulders coming down? No. Just leave it. Okay, Aussie US. Could that be a 15 minute? Oh, we're in the 15-minute. Silly me, I've been looking at the 15-minute all this time. I've got to go back. I don't know where to. Euro pound. Look at the 1 hour. Japan, Zhao. Here's a 15-minute head and shoulders on the Hong Kong gold. Euro Chief. That would have been a good one. Look, you could have got. That was Europe 50. Let's just draw in the winning trade so we feel good about it. So you'd probably be there. And you would target, I don't know, that maybe to be safe. When you only get 0.91, so then you have to put your risk down to here. 1.45, and then maybe you can go. Hang on, I'll just pause. Okay. So that could have been a good trade, but I don't know. Already gone. Are we going to get a head and shoulders again? Shoulder, head? Who knows? Okay, Aussie gold, CAD gold. So the only gold that's reversing is Hong Kong gold. Just a lot of flatness at the moment. Maybe the flatness gives us some 15-minute head and shoulders. Not really. Hong Kong stock market, has it got any good 15 minutes in it? Not right now. Okay, next look at that. It was a good head and shoulders, and then boom. Wait, I want to see that one. What time of day was the entry? It's always easy to analyze in retrospect, of course. There's a break. I'm going to call that a break and retest there. So I could have gone in there, would have got out, but there's a good retracement there. So there's your pin bar entry. It never got beaten. A little bit up, and then target is going to be, if we go by that little tallest wick, which I wouldn't, I would go like by that one. And there's a weekly trend line, so yeah, literally the weekly trend line. Done. And it tried to reject off that weekly trend line and then gap down, boom. It seems to have found some kind of other support line of some sort. Okay, next USD CHIF. Got a good rundown, but what kind of pattern is it going to have at the bottom? Is that rundown M continuation? CAD CHIF. That could possibly be a 15-minute. It's hard to call it head and shoulders. Look at his shoulder, head, shoulder. Haven't really had a big. Let's go here. So you could get up there maybe. If we get a candle, a blue candle, I will consider it, because you've got a good upward trend here. And if that doesn't get broken and we get a blue candle, that'll be a good entry candle. Well, add alert, bullish confirmed once per bar, and we'll just draw in the trade even though we haven't got the trade yet. We can just use that as a, and then target's going to be way up. Can we have 50% of that? I mean, we could go greedy and get all the way to the top of that. I would just go for 4. If I can get half of that candle, that'll give me 3.92. That'd be a good return. Okay. Zao. That was CAD CHIF. Another good, look, a good classic head and shoulders, kind of. And where's your entry? Not there. Entry's way up here. But that entry is 2:45 a.m. Impossible for me. And where's the target? Target is that candle up there. Okay. But too late, and now we're here. I mean, you could call that a head and shoulders easily, but and we got a break and retest there. So now we need a blue candle. We haven't got a break, we haven't got a retest, but we've got a break and close. If we go on the left here, it gives us a lot of room to get down. I haven't analyzed gold Japan yet, so I'll just write it in. ZAL Japan HNS. It's like a 7 out of 10. We've had the thing there, and the gold Hong Kong is this other ZAL Hong Kong dollar. I don't know, I haven't really looked at it, but both of them need analysis. Okay, how far down the list are we? Not even halfway. Okay, wait, did we put a, and we've got this entry here. We need to retest and then another entry, so we'll just put a signal on there. It's going to trigger now, but it'll trigger again. Bearish confirm once per bar. US gold. Yeah, it's just like literally triggering now, but I'm sure it'll trigger when we get another bar later. Okay, head and shoulders. Technically, this had to be the anchor point because this is the further away shoulder. Break and close. Wait, alert. Crossing down and closing. It's got the bearish divergence, which is nice. So gold US. So we've got a lot of gold head and shoulders. And it's hard to short gold, but maybe it's that time now that, look, it's got that really highest high it's ever been, and it has not made that again. So you can see the cursor is, it hasn't made that highest high ever. Seems to have got a lot of support there. Did this make it? No, that one died, look. Oh, this is UST note. Oh, good to know. Let's just analyze this because it had a good reversal off of this line. So let's zoom out and see if that line was a strong, yeah, look, touch. It was a pretty good resistance. I should have, or support line, I should have checked that before I enter. Oh, that one's about to go up, look. Or is it? It's got a rejection off there, which is that neckline up there. But is there a new trade on there? No. This is it's a 15-minute neckline. What? Oh, this is a neckline A, which is the one we used. I have to look at the alerts in a minute. Another gold. And that one's interesting because now it's a Quasimodo, because it's not really steeply pointing down, but it's I'll just try to move on quickly. ZAL. It's another head and shoulders. Are we gonna bother with it? It seems to have a better, I mean, the fact that the neckline's going down gives us more power, I guess. Let's just put a crossing down, bar close, create. We'll see if it retraces. Aussie gold. All the gold's getting the head and shoulders. So my prediction on the 10th of February in Brisbane time is the gold's gonna go down. That's definitely a Quasimodo. Look, we could literally enter like this. We can get all the way down to halfway down there, like there. That gives us a risk reward 0.48. That seems wrong. I've chosen the wrong. I've chosen a long trade instead of a short trade. I'm actually considering this quite strongly now. 2.3. And we could do that up to there as a limit order. Risk to reward 4. Okay, I'm gonna ask the AI about it. What about a 1 hour H and S on Zal Aussie and Quasimodo? Okay, Zal Aussie, write it down. Q for Quasimodo, I'm gonna set 7 out of 10 because it's Quasimodo. Sentiment is neutral, but we've got to enter before 3:30 p.m. because of the news. Okay, we'll come back to that. USD DKK. Could that be head and shoulders? No, because it's basically taller than that. It's out Singapore. It's all these head and shoulders. See, that's not Quasimodo because the line's going up. But if it crosses down and closes, that is once per bar close. I don't like these because they're the run up and then there's a space here where it's just being indecisive, but maybe that just means it'll burst out more, so I don't know what that space means. Watch out for weekly trend lines. Oh look, see the weekly trend lines? I actually went through them. I'm glad I didn't take that trade. It would have won, look. Bounced off that one, so I would have closed it here anyway at 6:45 p.m. Okay, no new trades there. You could call that a 15-minute Quasimodo, but it's already gone. Could this become a head and shoulders? That's too much, not enough information. Aussie Japan. That could be a 15-minute. Oh, we're on 15-minute. Oh, I've got to stop switching between. Okay, let's go back to Zal Singapore. Zal Aussie. At least I know that one. Are we on Zoom? This is USDTK. Nothing. So that becomes a 15-minute trade now. Edit text. I should have a different color for 15-minute. Let's change it to like fuchsia or something, or pink. I can't see colors, so it's really hard. Pink. No, pink is horrible. More purple. There. Save as 15M neckline. Euro Aussie. So this is a 15-minute and it went up and did its thing. Now we're looking for a new head and shoulder. See, there's a shoulder there. All we need is a shoulder here, but there's no shoulder, so we'll just text it in there. So everything happens after 3, but I can't enter any trades after 3 because it's 11:30 p.m. news. That's like a M with a big space in the middle. I'm just gonna pretend it's an M and see what happens. I'm not gonna trade it. Or should I write it with a path? I'll just end it with a path. Bam, bam, bam. No more M's. Aish. Sorry for my failure to use the tool. I mean, that would be a there actually. Ignoring the wick. So that would be here. A little bit extra, and then this can come down to here. So that could be an M, but too scared to enter M trade due to ugly middle. But it's probably fine. It's probably just fine. Who knows? What is this neckline? Go away. That must have been a 15-minute one. Yes, delete. So here's a 15-minute right at the top in Aussie Hong Kong. These are the Asian currencies I can trade because they're in my time zone. It's got Quasimodo already. I'm going to change that to a 15-minute. Does it outright 15 in it? That's handy, very handy. So we just need the candle signal. Candle signals bearish confirmed. Once per bar. Oh. I mean, it should just end. Where's today? Just end tomorrow, I guess. Aussie Hong Kong was good, 15. And Quasimodo. I like this one best, 8 out of 10. But we're getting all these support lines. Will we get a... And we could probably even extend it down to see the... to hit that. 2 to 1. Aussie Kiwi, we're on 15-minute. Get off 15-minute. Shoulder, head, no shoulder yet. Chief Hong Kong, that shoulder looks higher than. And this could be an M, funky WM. That could be an M. Ignore that wick, just ignore there. And make it 1 to 1. A little bit extra. Why are we not entering this M, you ask? I don't know. Just don't feel confident. Maybe it's in my emotions. Maybe I need to take a break. Is that a... If we take this at the bottom, is that a... It's a 40% retracement, so that's good. It's less than 50%. This actually looks quite good. Euro Singapore, and but it's only 1 to 1. I'll just write it in there. Need to practice my M trades more. I'll put that as 8 out of 10 as well because it looks pretty good. New Zealand US 15-minute did not go well. Look, and this strong line is going to ignore it now. Actually, I mean, that would be a good target for this 15-minute coming down, New Zealand, US. That's a beautiful head and shoulders. Minute neckline. And it's Quasimodo, kind of. But we'll wait for I don't know what we're going to wait for. And there's a strong resistance line there. Look, you can see it touching there. 1.4. I guess we should wait for it. I mean, it is a slightly down trending, but it is not Quasimodo because it's not steep. So we'll just add an alert on there, crossing down and closing. I prefer to get a close and a retest rather than Aussie 200. Like this is all these 15-minute ones, and that's already had a close and retest. Now we just need an entry candle. Should go all the way up. Go all the way up. It's kind of like an M. It's got that good run up. I like this one. So let's do a candle signal. Candle signals bearish confirmed. Once per bar. So that's my favorite right now. Aussie 200. Head and shoulder 15-minute. We're going to get that 9 out of 10. It's had the break and retest. It just needs another red candle like that. This is the rejection, so it's going up. Maybe. We'll see. And it's got this bearish divergence, so that's my favorite right now. Let me just ask the AI and Karen with our lives. Pound Singapore on 15 minutes, still we've got to change to the 1 hour. So that one we weren't going to do, but we did. Okay, go back to 15-minute, whatever. I might just make a watch list of just Asian currencies and just trade it on the 15-minute, because this seems like where most of my success is. CAD Singapore, 15-minute, shoulder, head, shoulder. But not really. And there's a Quasimodo entry, but I mean, if that would be a real trade. There's a double pin bar up there, so that's probably a good top. Even if we put it above that, and our target down here, that's a 4% gain. And we don't even need that. We can just put it above here if we count that as a pin bar pivot high. Except this is in the Asian session, it's in the trading session, and we've got a bearish divergence here. CAD Singapore. I think I am, what is the word, wishful thinking it. Because this is like, that's a shoulder, that's a head. What's this? Is it a shoulder, or am I hallucinating it? Am I hallucinating this shoulder? I guess we'll find out once it goes. I'm not going to trade that. Zhao Chif on 1 hour. This is gold again. It might have a 15-minute head and shoulders here. It does. Look, it's literally, the neckline's already being drawn for me. And 15-minute neckline and crossing down. So you could call that Quasimodo. Once per bar close, create. But I want to see a, like, yeah, this is a higher, a lower high, a kind of lower low, but not really. A lower high. I want to see a lower low, and then a lower high. I mean, you could easily get there. Maybe you could get there. That'd be nice. 1.49. Yeah. It's a gold shift. I don't know what to do. It's like a 4 out of 10. It's not something I'm gonna move, but I've put an alert in. I've got to get through all the alerts anyway. We're on 15 minutes still. That looks like a head and shoulder. That's like a tiny head and shoulders, and then a bigger head and shoulders here. And that trade would have stopped out, so we don't care about a weak sentiment against us. And then this is going to be now down to that new neckline. This is the hourly. So we've got this, so we need now, we've got the break, we need a retest and a, I just deleted it, undo. And we need the retest and entry candle. Bearish confirmed, once per bar. It doesn't really have bearish divergence there. And we'll put a short trade in. Just in case we actually do it. We can easily reach that inefficient candle. This candle didn't quite reach its middle, so I think we're good. So that's an interesting one. Singapore, Japan on the 1 hour. They need to get the retracement before we get any goodness out of it, so I'm gonna mix, what do you call it, mix trading systems for no reason, and give me a MPCL. I don't have a standard one. Okay, then we go to template, apply defaults. So if we get an, if we put in a limit order here at the 0.618, it may go in. It'd be interesting to know. I'll just put a note on there. Aish. Placed. Could have placed limit order at 0.618 retracement, but I didn't. Japan, on 1 hour, that's good. I mean, you could call that an M. That trade already obviously failed. That 50% jump was good. 50% guess was good. That's a giant M. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Put that in M1. So PCL is going to be there. And short trade. Zero point one. That's an M trade. I'll write it in as an M trade with my little pass tool. covering that wick. So we hope it'll go down there, but we're not doing it. And we could write it in Japan 225M. Man, we haven't even got to the end of the list yet. I've even got, oh, nearly there. Okay. That was a nice Head and Shoulders. Would have been good. Gold New Zealand. Now they're going to get another 15-minute Head and Shoulders. I'll just put a break on it. I'm making up a lot of alerts that I think I'm just creating noise, because I'm unlikely to trade these things. We're still on the 15-minute. We've got to switch to the hourly. There's a Head and Shoulders that could reach pattern completion. It's had a break and retest. It could probably reach that bottom. So pound CAD. Wait for an entry signal. Bearish confirmed once per bar. I've got to stop making so many useless alerts and make sure that was a good alert. I could actually trade that. Let's have a look at considering it was bearish. So like Aus 200 we were good. We'll go just right in there. Sentiment good. Sentiment good. Okay, let's have a look at pound CAD HNS. It's had a shoulder, had a head, had a shoulder, had a break, had a retest, had a lower high. And we could draw a little soft trend line in there. Probably to that. Gentle trend line. And now what's the AI say? It says shorting pound, which just had a bullish data beat today. Going long CAD, which has a bullish, but not today. Pound CAD. So if looking at pound CAD, it's got slightly bad sentiment. Great British Pound CAD. Head and Shoulders, 15-minute. Sentiment bad. There you go, So, well, we've got the thing in there anyway. And it's only 15 minutes, so who cares about the sentiment, right? Oh, it's on 1 hour. It's actually 1 hour. Actually, it's 1H, not 15M. Let's continue our journey. There was a, what was this neckline? Oh, there. Trying to reverse up. Need to see giant breaker structure, and we did not see a giant breaker structure. We didn't trade it, and we did alright. Yes, delete. There's no new trades there. Mexican. That was a good trade. Look, why didn't I? There's the edge. The entry candle would have been that one, maybe. Would we have made it? We would have made it, and then we're only targeting those bottoms, so it's not really a good deal. But actually got further. It would have been a good deal, but we didn't trade it, so. Pound Aussie. Aussie cab might have a head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, we don't know. There's a head, reverse head and shoulders, shoulder, reverse head, reverse mini shoulder. Looks like it made it to completion. UK, too much down to turn, not touching, so glad we didn't touch that because it literally broke down. Okay. Let's just delete this, clean up our board. Singapore Chief, copper on New Zealand, Japan. That was a good one. Copper US, sentiment against, and there's these strong, look at these resistance lines got hit. Nothing new on there. Turkish euro. Could that be a 15? Nah, too late. I guess we don't care about sentiment for 15-minute trade. That one actually worked. Let's zoom in and have a look. New Zealand, Hong Kong. There's another Asian session. 15-minute knee break of structure. And we said, oh, that would be your entry. And then it almost stopped you out. It probably would have stopped me out, honestly. Would have made 1.5. That was just too close for fun. And now it's got another 15-minute right at the top there, look. You see how you can see 15-minute trades from the 1 hour. 15-minute neckline. So from the 1 hour chart, you can see 15-minute trades and 4 hour trades. That's got a break and a retest, so it needs next a entry signal. Bearish confirmed. Once per bar close. Once per bar. So that looks like a 9 out of 10 to me. New Zealand, Hong Kong. Head and shoulders, 15-minute. That's pound CAD is 1 hour, not a 15-minute. Okay, NZD, Hong Kong, HNS, 15-minute. Definitely gonna make an Asian watch list. There was a head and shoulders, boom, and then another head and shoulders, boom. Let's just trade that, pretend we did it so it makes us feel good. There's your entry there. Yeah. And you could literally have just put it above that. I made. Where are we going to target? There to be safe. There to be greedy. We could have made 3.25, but hindsight trades are always perfect, right? Yes, they are. Done. We got through the whole list. Thank you for watching. I don't think I'll post this one because I don't really feel into it. I guess I should. I've got to go through all the alerts. What does all this M forming one? So if I just grab that, that's the 15-minute. I did do an M forming, and I guess the M formed, so now we can delete the alert and I'll get rid of a bunch of my entries here, which will be fine. That's much better. Okay, bearish signal confirmed. Slight sentiments against us at 1 hour. I don't even see any trade there. Is it a 15-minute one? Maybe it's, I don't know what trade is supposed to be there. Is it an M? Okay, I'm just going to delete that signal. Break and close pound US of what? That thing? Too late. Too late, potato. And that was like yesterday. And that was there. So all this movement happens when I'm asleep. Gold Japan bearish signal. So there we are. Is it in my list? Gold Japan. Right, let's just see where the AI was at. New Zealand, Hong Kong. Going long Hong Kong, but Hong Kong put to US, which had a weak employment data last week. The peg drags Hong Kong down. I don't believe in that peg. Clear until 8:30. So we've got New Zealand, Hong Kong. Let's have a look at our 15-minute trades. That's good. I haven't got any more paper. New square in the paper. New Zealand, Hong Kong. There's a Gold Japan. This looks great. We could enter right now. We're just getting many down candles. And target, I don't know. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. So entry is going to be right now. In fact, I would just do a limit entry. Stop loss has got to be above that. Although, yeah, it's kind of a curve. And then where's our target going to be? These things. So Gold Japan looks good. So let's make a short list. Zao. Japanese. We've got a bunch of golds, and our gold Aussie looked the best to me because it was already Quasimodo. Okay, delete New Zealand, US. Crossing down trend line. So that one we can have we'll create the candle signal for it. Bearish confirmed once per bar. Okay, so we've got a lot of choice of trades today. We can delete that alert. New Zealand, Hong Kong. Bearish candle confirmed, which is this. So we've got a great chance to enter now, but we don't have a retracement. Oh no, we do have a retracement because that's a break and close. That's a retrace, and we need another bearish candle in order to enter now. So just wait. New Zealand, Hong Kong. Zao Japan, we already looked at. Let's just clear their alerts now. I should have written down which ones are ready to go. So Zao Aussie is ready to go. We could enter that right now with a limit order. As a Quasimodo down, but this is a strong top. Look, hit. Nobody wants to pay more than 7,100 and let's say $7,175 for an ounce of gold. We've got a lower low here. We've got a lower high here. I think if we get one more signal, then we're good. Do we have an alert set up for this already? We don't, so let's add up one more signal. Bearish confirmed once. Yeah, no, it's no good doing it now, is it? Thanks though. Oh, okay. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to have a break and I will wait for a new alert to come in. Thank you for watching the video. Have a nice day.